It's the Weekend Garden Show featuring Sam.
Happy Saturday, soil soldiers, and welcome back to the Weekend Garden Show. Today I'm going to be showing you how to overwinter shampoo ginger. All right, let's do it. So this is my shampoo ginger, and I planted this back in May. And so many of you have watched that video. It now has over 6,000 views. I am so grateful. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. So today is the follow-up to that. This is what the plant currently looks like. Okay, and it's had some obstacles to overcome, especially the squirrel attack that happened pretty early on after planting it. So if I planted this in May, I think the squirrels got to it probably June. I want to say sometime in June. You can actually see down here what's left of what the squirrels did. I mean, they were just super unhappy with the arrival of this plant. They were not a fan. You can see that this was all shredded up. They tore this plant to pieces when it first got here. This as well, this is some of it that was part of the original planting that's now gone. So yeah, it definitely had a setback in terms of its growth because they were just not a fan. But as you can see, it's grown back quite nicely. Look at all of this beautiful foliage. So I'm definitely really happy with how this has come along, and I want to try and save it, which is what today's video is all about. Now, for those of us who live in zone 9 or above, even some areas of zone 8, overwintering is not something you need to concern yourself with. This plant will either grow throughout the year for you, or it might go dormant if it does get too cold, but it's actually hardy up to 32 degrees, which is surprising considering how tropical it is. But yeah, if you live in the warmer climates, you can leave this outside and do absolutely nothing to it. You don't need to prepare anything. For those of us who live in zone 7 or lower, we definitely need to bring this plant either indoors or overwinter it outside, depending on how you plant it. So you have two options really to overwinter this plant. You can, option number 1, to remove all of your foliage. This is really good for those of us who have this plant outside and we want to leave it out there because it's either planted in the ground or maybe it's really large and it's too big for you to bring inside. So what you will want to do is actually remove all of this foliage, okay? And then you're going to cut it down to, you're going to find the base of the rhizome. Am I getting this? Okay. You're going to find the base of the rhizome, and you're going to only leave about 3 or 4 inches above the rhizome, and you're going to remove everything else above it. You're going to do that for all of your pieces here, okay? All of your stalks, I think they're called. And once you cut all of your foliage off, you're going to put a really heavy layer of mulch down. Now, when I say really heavy, I'm talking, 4 to 6 inches of mulch. You want a substantial layer of mulch. Now, mulch does 2 things. Mulch will help to retain moisture in the soil because you don't really want to be watering or fertilizing this over the winter period. So the mulch will do a great job of retaining the moisture in the soil, as well as the mulch will insulate the plant from the harsh winter. So if you get snow and ice like we do here, you want a heavy layer of mulch if you're going to be leaving this plant outside, because you're most likely going to dip down far below 32 degrees. Okay? The other option for overwintering, which is what I'm going to do, is bring this baby inside. Now, if you're going to bring it inside, you're going to need to dig it up, and you want to be really careful with how you go about digging this up, because although it's in the ginger family and it has a rhizome root system, this particular type of ginger is a little finicky when it comes to blooming after the rhizome has been separated. So it doesn't say it definitely will not bloom, but it does have the potential to not bloom after you separate your rhizome. So if you're looking forward to those big, beautiful red pine cone ginger inflorescence is what they're called. They're not even flowers, they're called inflorescence. If you're looking forward to those like I am, be really, really careful about how you remove this from the soil. You want to keep it intact as much as possible so that you have that you have the option of getting that big, beautiful flower or inflorescence. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm going to start pulling away the soil, take a look at the rhizomes. I'm going to give them a good rinse off. And then I have a pot over here. I'm going to put it in, and then I'll bring it into the house. All right, let's do it. Here is the first piece. Look at the roots on this. And you can see another shoot is coming up here. It's right here. And you can see this one. This is new here. This is the one. See, it's still wrapped up and curled. That's going to be a new leaf. So I planted 2 of these plants. So this is the first one. All of this is the second. There we go. Wow. Look at that. Look at these roots, you guys. This really got snuggly and comfortable. Look at that. This is all one piece. And you want to try and keep it that way so that you have a better chance at it getting to bloom. Look at this one sticking out like a horn. Look at all of these. These are the actual roots. Let's see if I can show you. This is what the rhizome looks like. This is the actual rhizome here. And then this, when it gets older, this is what the rhizome looks like, this brown here. Yeah. So this is it. I'm gonna hose it off. Actually, I think I might just leave it be. The roots. I think I'll leave the roots be. But I'm going to rinse off the foliage before I bring the whole thing in the house. And this is the pot it's going to go into. All right, be right back. All right, this is what the plant looks like after I've hosed it off. And you want to just give it a really good spray with the hose to remove any bugs that may be lingering and hanging out on your leaves. You just want to get all of that off before you bring it into your home. Okay. And then here's my potting mix that I use, and there's my container, and we're just going to go ahead and plant it. See how they're spread out, fanned out? Okay, and then we're just going to come back, backfill with soil and tuck it all in. Great. We've got it all potted up. It's nice and tucked in. Make sure you give it a good press into the pot and water it in outside because you pretty much won't need to give it too much attention once it's inside. So you can go ahead and water it while it's out here. I did pop a couple holes in the base of this pot. So we're just gonna go ahead and let that sink in, and then we can take it inside. Now, that was the largest piece. I did not have room in this pot for this smaller piece here. So I am going to get another pot, and I'm going to just repeat the same process that I did over here for this smaller piece. Ta-da! Here it is in its new winter home. Right in front of the window that does get some light. Today is not a sunny day. It's mostly cloudy. But if you look over here, there's a little bit of sun coming into this window. So eventually it will get light in this window. So that's why I have it here. All right, so that's it, everyone. This is how you can overwinter your shampoo ginger. If you had a good time, and I sure hope that you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you all next time on the Weekend Garden Show.